Sometimes I wonder if I will ever find someone who will understand me at the level and at the depth that I want to be understood at. And sometimes I wonder why I was given a personality that was meant to support and serve others before I'm able to support myself. Basically putting others before myself. And this video is for those who feel like they don't belong, feel out of place, for my fellow INFJs out there, because I feel like the struggles we go through is not talked about enough, or at least I want to provide this little space for us to relate to each other and support each other, because it does get really lonely. And I think that feeling of being misunderstood or just no one else understanding us is just, it's inevitable with the personality that we have. Yes, I am very proud to be an INFJ and I love some of the qualities that I have, but I also recognize how some of my traits can be stunting my growth or like pushing me back from continuing in life. Let's first talk about feeling alone and out of place and that no one understands, because I felt this since I was a kid, and that feeling has continued on until right now. And it's not what you think of like typical being outcasted or you're too different like outwardly, but for me it's like a mental, like internal gap in relation to the people around me. And I think it's somewhat correlated with like growing up too fast, like having to mature faster, knowing too much too early. That is definitely one. And this mental gap that I feel, I don't think it's specific to INFJs. I think it's because I have exponentially grown internally and spiritually, and just how I see the world is so developed compared to people my age. And I'm not saying this to brag, and if anything, sometimes I feel ashamed about it. I will make a video about this, like feeling ashamed of growing too fast too early, or like knowing too much too early. Of course I've still so much to learn, like there's still so much I don't know, but what I care about and how I think about the world and life is, I think, kind of equivalent to someone in their 30s or 40s, because we crave things at a certain depth, like deep conversations and deep connections, or like everything. I feel like that's what fuels us. It's hard to find that. It doesn't help that we are very reserved people and we require like feeling safe to open up. It's like the whole thing with contradictions, like INFJs are like, our personalities are just full of contradictions. And what also doesn't help is that we have a social chameleon personality where we adjust and adapt to whoever we are reacting to. We are so attuned and observant of the dynamics and the vibes that we could adjust ourselves to fit accordingly, and it's not even conscious. It just happens, and it's not a people-pleasing thing. It's rather the opposite. It's us trying to make the other person feel comfortable to be themselves. And that's what I mean, where I feel like we put others before ourselves. We are willing to sacrifice our own self-expression in order for the other person to feel safe to express themselves, and as a consequence, the other person won't be able to see our true personality or whatnot. Not that us adapting is not true, that is very natural, but the fact that that is natural, the fact that we are so willing and like we find so much purpose of helping others and like putting others before ourselves in some situations, like yes, that is beautiful. And like me doing this right now and me doing this channel in general, it gives me so much fulfillment, because as long as I know I'm helping one person out there, like that literally makes my day. But there's dangers to it if I don't take care of myself. Like if I don't work on myself and I completely lose myself into catering to others, then that's where things could get detrimental. Being selfish has helped me immensely, and I feel like for us, when we try to be selfish, it's gonna be nothing compared to people who are actually like really self-centered and narcissistic. So I wouldn't be worried about being too selfish. You need to pour into yourself before you're able to pour into others. That is so important. If you're an INFJ, or if you're just someone who related to what I talked about in this video, please leave your thoughts below. We don't have to be alone going through these feelings. We could support each other and talk about it. And I just want to build a little community here where we feel safe to be ourselves and talk about deeper topics like this. And yeah, I'll see you very soon.